Welcome to part 4 of our live training session here with our turbocharged Nissan 370z running on Uprev tuning software. The last video, we completed the full throttle calibration process for the wastegate spring level. This video, we're going to go and turn our attention into turning up the boost and seeing what kind of power this makes. We made about 410 horsepower in the last video. I'm anticipating it making around 500 horsepower on 93 octane, so we're going to see the results and finish out the wide open throttle calibration process. We're also going to be taking a look and turning on some of our additional ARC features and testing them. So our launch control and rolling anti-lag. I'm also going to be showing you how to go and set up a deceleration, crackle, and pop style tune in this video as well. I'm also going to be discussing how to set up a flame map as well, so you can implement that on your Nissan or Infiniti using Uprev's software. So without further wait, let's jump into this video so we can check this out. Welcome back to our live training session here with our turbocharged Nissan 370z. In the last video, we completed our full throttle calibration process for fuel and spark timing. We're going to be moving into taking a look at our variable cam timing and see if we can pick up any low end and mid-range power with this application. We're also going to be turning up our boost a little bit. We need to go back and take a look at some data that we didn't discuss and look at in the last video. We're just looking at the fuel and spark timing workflow process, but there's some things that we want to definitely go back in and look at. So this is our last data log associated with the last dyno pool. If we take a look at the dyno screen, we have that up. It's 382 pound-feet of torque and 415 horsepower. Now in our lanes of data, our white line represents our engine RPM, our yellow line represents our base fuel schedule, and then our red and green lines on the top graph here, those represent our wideband air fuel as it's coming from the primary sensors. Now our lower graph down here, this is going to be our knock strength, target air fuel, ignition timing, and then the AFR error that we've created, that custom channel, using our Megalog viewer software. Let's bring in another lane of data and let's talk about some things that we definitely need to keep in mind in this video. So if we go down here to our graph 3, I'm going to be going in and actually taking a look at what the mass airflow is showing for voltage. This is a real concern for this particular car. We can find here the mass AF B1. Let's take a look. This is what the voltage is going to be showing here, 4.23 volts. We'll take a look at our other bank here, just so we have that data to take a look at. So bank 2. We're seeing they're roughly showing about 4 volts, 4.2 volts. The limit is going to be 5 volts. And we don't want to get up to that high because it can put the car into limp mode. We want to keep it around 4.9 at the most. So we're going to have a limitation of our mass airflow sensors being able to register the airflow as we turn up the boost. That's going to be a problem or potential problem as we go on here a little bit further into the video. So right now, the boost controller that I have in here, this Grady ProFect boost controller, is turned off, and we were just on the wastegate spring. We built about 6.5, 7 pounds of boost in that last video to make the power in those last pools. So when we turn it up, we'll have to see how far we can go. We probably can get to about 9, 10 pounds of boost. It should pick up another maybe 50, 60, 80 horsepower. We might be close to 500, but I think it's going to be the point where we're going to have to go in and get different mass airflow sensors to be able to go any higher in the airflow registration for this particular application. So that's going to be one thing we wanted to look at. Another variable that we want to take a look at here, we'll type I for injector duty cycle. We see the duty cycle is extremely low. We're only here about 25, 26% duty cycle. These injectors are huge. We're on pump gas. It's really not using much of any of the fuel delivery. So again, injectors are sized way too high for this application. I would have personally chose probably 1300s, ID 1300s. It would have ran much better at idle and part throttle, but this is working and it's doing its job right now. So we want to keep track of that, making sure that we're not running too much duty cycle and using too much of the injector. If we're getting up to the 90 range, 85 range, that's a concern. We want to stay below 85, 90% if at all possible. The last thing I want to go and introduce here, let's actually replace our injector duty cycle with another parameter here. If we move down, we have our parameters called INT/V time bank 1, bank 2. This is going to be our variable valve timing. So this is what we're going to be starting to work with and work and tuning in the beginning of this video here. So bank 1, bank 2. We can see they're both showing 0 degrees because we zeroed out all the variable cam timing. What I'm going to do is go in and actually bring back some of the variable cam timing mapping from the stock ROM, bring it in here, and then we're going to start to experiment with that and see if we can pick up any power. Now we're finding as we start to advance the intake cam and starting to rotate it, we're going to be getting some more overlap. By dialing in more overlap, we're ingesting more airflow into the engine, which improves the cylinder filling, which improves the power it makes. It also will go in, and because we have more air coming in the engine, we'll have more air going out of the engine. It acts like a larger displacement engine, which gives more exhaust flow, which pulls the turbo quicker, which allows us to get into boost quicker. So we'll find it has kind of a two-part effect. So we're going to be rotating it and seeing what happens. But we wanted to show, I wanted to just illustrate that is going to be 0 because we've zeroed it out already when we built the base file, and I mentioned that before. So now we're going to be turning it on, trying to make it work a little bit for us, and see what kind of power gains we make. So we have our baseline again from that last video. We'll see if we can gain any quicker spool, and I anticipate we definitely can, and torque should pick up as well. So we're going to see kind of the cause and effect. So those are the things I wanted to talk about and to look at. So we have our kind of our baseline from that last pull, and we'll try rotating the cam right now. So what I'm going to do is jump back in here. Thanks for checking out our teaser clip. If you want to see the rest of this video and more than 500 hours of current EFI training we have to offer, make sure you click right here. If you want to go and check out more teaser clips from this training course, click here, and you don't want to miss any of the videos we're going to be releasing on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.